Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you well and enjoying summer. As we're about to begin the 9 days, I wanted to share some thoughts with you to help prepare us emotionally, spiritually, and mentally for what the 9 days represents. As we know, the 9 days is a very difficult time for Klal Yisrael. The 9 days actually ends with Tisha B'Av, which as we know is the day that both Batei Mikdash were burnt. It's a scary time for Bnei Yisrael, and it's a time when we try to focus our actions, our deeds, our behavior in a way to hopefully heal our world and essentially bring us one step closer to having Mashiach Tzidkenu. A year ago, I read a letter that was written by Renana Meir, the daughter of Daphne Meir, a mother of 6 who lived in Otniel and unfortunately was killed by a terrorist in her home. Her daughter Renana writes to her, "My dear and beloved mommy, 6 months have passed, half a year has gone by, half a year during which bereavement hits us again and again, and our routine has become foreign. More families have lost their loved ones, more Memorial Days and more orphans. My mommy, did you know that 2 months ago Rivka Peretz was killed? I'm sure you met her up there in heaven. You're probably there together, shaking the worlds. She is praying, and you're demanding redemption. Rivka, who as we jump on the trampoline, hangs laundry or cleans her house across the street. Rivka, who is my teacher, Akiva's teacher, and a Noah and Ahava's teacher too. The neighbors nearby, the longtime neighbors, they also got hit in the full sense of the word. Daddy isn't the only widower in the community anymore. And again, another man holds up his family all alone. And Mommy, it hit here again on the same street, in the middle of a Friday afternoon, the Marks got the terrible news. The Marks, who have a car just like ours, the same color and same model, they were shot at mercilessly. And Mickey also ascended to heaven in a storm of fire. Mickey, who always arrived to pray early, who set aside time to learn Torah. Mickey, who was ready to pray on Erev Shabbat, always wearing all white. Mickey, who was crazy about his children, who could sit and study with one and relax with another one, all the same. And Mommy, there's also Mansour, Avigail, Ulami, and Ben-Ami. There's Sabag and Merzbach and the yeshiva students. They are the true heroes, standing strong in the face of their bereavement for years already, without making any fuss. So Mommy, tell Father in heaven that the situation in Otniel is terrible. Behind every door stands a family that is missing someone. It's sitting with Ronnie to exchange recipes and experiences without a mother. It's sitting with Tal, and instead of talking about normal 17-year-old things, we are crying about how God has again hidden his face from us. Sing Pedaya and Tehillah with tattered eyes because they saw their parent, just like me, return his soul to God. The youth are torn, and the parents have no answers. How is it possible that in the same community these blows do not cease? They walk around here disconnected and expressionless, trying to do something that will again feel like their routine. Looking up to the sky and asking our Father, "Where are you? Who can we fight against? Why do you hide our face from us? Why do you hide your face from us? Why doesn't the comforting one comfort us?" So Mommy, go to Father. Ask for mercy. Explain to him that here we can barely see his face. Tell him that the pain has already crossed every limit. Shock has replaced the tears, and tears have replaced happiness. Ask him for strength, some energy that will help us keep going, and come to visit. Give me another hug before it gets dark. These are the exact emotions and thoughts that each of us should be feeling in our personal way as we connect to the 9 days. Obviously never to compare our experience to that of a child who lost their parent to terrorism in Israel. But this feeling of, where is God in my life? How can I connect? Please, Hashem, show your face to me. This is part of what the 9 days represents. We are without the Beit HaMikdash. We are without the opportunity to give korbanot. And it's a time where we need to say to Hashem, we're ready. Bring us Mashiach. We want to have the ability to do full service for you. And yet we don't. So we have to remind ourselves that we don't want to suffer anymore, and that we want to take this time to work on our Avodas Hashem, to work on our Ben Adam L'Chavero, to be kinder to each other, to be better people in this world. Personally, I'm taking upon myself that during the 9 days, I will be creating a fundraiser to help raise money for needy families in my community so that for Rosh Hashanah, we can give them prepared food for Yontif so that they don't have to worry about that cost. This is just one small way for me to do something productive during the 9 days that I hope will help bring our community a little bit closer, will instead of contributing to Sinas Chinam, instead contribute to Avas Chinam. And I hope that each one of you, wherever you are, during the 9 days, can do something small to bring us all one step closer. And before I conclude, I just want to remind everyone of the different actions and halachot that we follow during the 9 days. Of course, it is Ashkenaz tradition that we do not eat meat or poultry or drink wine at all during the 9 days. The Sephardic tradition is that only Shavua Shel Chalbo, the week in which Tisha B'Av actually falls out, is when the Sephardic community stops eating meat. We don't generally launder our clothing, except for a baby. We don't wear freshly laundered clothing, so if you did laundry before the 9 days starts, you should try it on before it actually begins the 9 days. We don't take time too long in the shower or bath for our pleasure. We don't go swimming for pleasure. We don't do things like remodeling a home. We put all those things on hold because, again, we're focusing on our connection to Hashem and what this means to us to be in these 9 days period. We also don't do things like cutting our nails during the week, the actual Shavua Shechalbo, the actual week of Tisha B'Av. There's also the custom not to listen to live music, obviously. And again, it's a very serious time for us to spend focusing on our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to our connection to each other. Let's take this opportunity to all focus on ensuring that this is the last time we are commemorating the 9 days. Let us all bring ourselves one step closer to having Mashiach join us. B'mheira b'yaminu. Amen.